Okay, good Saturday morning. This is Reverend Phil Anderson here, pastor of Oakland United Methodist Church in Kansas Avenue, United Methodist Church. You are tuned in to Fresh Bread, the weekend edition, and I'm so glad that you are with us today. So good to have you along for the ride. We're going to look at our gospel reading. You know, we've been in Job every day this last week, and now we move into gospel lesson today. And just want to remind you, tomorrow is Sunday. It's church day. I hope you're going to make a point to be at Oakland United Methodist Church over here at 801 Northeast Chester in Topeka for our 9:30 service. We'll have Sunday school at 8:45. And then don't forget Kansas Avenue United Methodist Church, 1029 North Kansas Avenue in the Noto Arts District. It'll commence at 11 o'clock for a worship service. And then we'll be hoping to continue our showing of The Chosen in the afternoon at 5 o'clock. And we thank Tom Wynn for all the work he does behind the scenes for Fresh Bread and all of our worship services, getting all of our PowerPoint things up online, and also for helping out with The Chosen on Sunday evening. So Tom, many thanks to you and to Carolyn for all you guys do, all the many sacrifices. I could not do it without you guys, obviously, and we do truly appreciate that. Well, again, I hope you're having a good Saturday. It's been a good week for you, I trust, and we are now going to just look at this last day of the week's lectionary readings for Saturday, October 23rd, 2021, Mark 8, 22 to 26. So let's just take a look at this. Mark 8, 22 to 26. When they arrived at Bethsaida, some people brought a blind man to Jesus, and they begged him to touch him, the man would and heal him. So Jesus took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the village. Then, spitting on the man's eyes, he laid his hands on him and asked, "Can you see anything now?" The man looked around. "Yes," he said, "I see people, but I can't see them very clearly. They look like trees walking around." Then Jesus placed his hands on the man's eyes again, and his eyes were opened. His sight was completely restored, and he could see everything clearly. And Jesus sent him away, saying, "Don't go back into the village on your way home." That's kind of a perplexing section there. Let's just do a little reading about that, shall we? So, we know that Jesus can do all kinds of miraculous healings, and in this particular case, he comes across a blind man, doesn't he? And this man was in need of healing. And so Jesus does just that. But it's an interesting situation, because if you just followed along with me, you realize that Jesus took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the village, and spitting on the man's eyes, he laid his hands on him, and he asked if he could see anything. The man said, "Yeah, I see something, but it looks like trees are walking around. I'm not seeing 20/20, Jesus, but it's better than it was, that's for sure, And then Jesus placed his hands on the man's eyes this time, and his eyes were open. Why did Jesus touch the man a second time before he could see? Well, it wasn't because this miracle was too difficult for Jesus, but he chose to do it in stages, possibly to show the disciples that some healing would be gradual rather than instantaneous. Or maybe it was to demonstrate that spiritual truth is not always perceived clearly at first. Before Jesus left, however, the man was healed completely. We grow into our awareness and our realization of God. I mean, where I'm at today, I hope it's not where I was 10, 15 years ago. I hope it's a little farther along. I hope the same for you. But, even if it's not, start where you're at today and take what God gave you, which may even be the awareness of, I'm not where I want to be. And that's a good starting point. Take that, and God will move you into that direction of healing, and he'll open not only your spiritual, your physical lives, like in this case maybe, but he'll mostly, and most importantly, he opens up your spiritual vision so you can start seeing who he really is. We were talking earlier this week about the character of God, and that came to me the other day when I was out and about, and I thought, that's really what Job's about. It's the character of God. It's not so much what God did or didn't do or what Satan did. I mean, that's the obvious stuff, but what are we really reading about? And that's the character of God. And his ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. We will never ascertain God's ways or his thoughts, but you know what? We can trust in him because we know that he is so much greater than we are, and it puts us in our place. And sometimes we need to be in our place. He's God. We're his children, and he wants us to have that relationship with him. We do that just by trusting in Christ. Well, friends, hope to see you in church tomorrow. Until then, have a great day.